Yeah, so I always talk about marketing. In fact, people ask me why I'm so passionate about marketing, and the answer really comes from where I am, who I am. I did my first collaborative case in 2002. It was not interdisciplinary, but it was successful, and I was very tickled to discover this new process. I did two in 2002, and I didn't do another case until 2009. So big gap. I got trained in 2009. And it was in 2009, I think, that I realized that if I didn't market the process, no one was going to do it for me. That's not true today, but I think it's still a prevailing truth. I'm now working on my 40th collaborative matter. For a lawyer who really only started in 2009, I think that's pretty good. If you're neutral, you've probably got a lot more under your belt, but as a lawyer, it's harder to get the cases. So I'm very passionate about marketing collaborative process because your success is my success. Every collaborative lawyer out there who gets a case is potentially going to send the other client to me, or his client is going to send the other client to me, or the other client's going to find me. And the question is, how does that other client find me? So your success is my success. I like to say that collaboration controverts competition. We aren't competitors in this, we're teammates. We all know that, but we don't necessarily act on it. So I think the first question to ask is, what is marketing? And to a large degree, I think, are you afraid to market? Is marketing a bad word to you? Marketing is education. So how do you reach potential clients? How do you teach potential clients, potential referral sources, potential collaborative cohorts, what you do and why you do it? I think the why is critical here. If you're passionate about it, then you need to be teaching about it, and in teaching your marketing. So you go to a cocktail party and someone says, "What do you do?" I tell them, I don't say I'm a lawyer, because that just kind of stifles the conversation. They go, "Oh, that's nice. I'm a realtor." "Oh, that's nice." No, I tell them why I do what I do. I specialize in my passion. Specializing, by the way, won't limit your work. It will open it up. I'm sure that many of you have heard of the nude realtor. Do you really think that she only caters to people who want to live in nudist colonies? No, she'll sell a house to anybody, or she'll sell a house for anybody. But she's known as the nude realtor because that's what she markets. So specializing in collaborative isn't going to necessarily limit your work. Deborah Day is still doing marriage counseling. She's still doing individual counseling, but she's known as a collaborative facilitator. So why now? We're in the middle of a pandemic. We're trying to take care of our kids. We're trying to take care of ourselves. How can I market now? And my answer is, this really is, I see this as such a huge opportunity for all of us. So carpe diem, seize the moment. Let's make lemonade out of lemons. Now is your time to focus on marketing. Now you have the time, especially if your business has slowed down, which to some degree, I think all of us have seen a slowdown as people just take a deep breath and go, okay, what do I do now? What are you working on while you're stuck at home? And I think for now, think of two things. One is publish, and the other is profile. So I teach a 2-day marketing course to lawyers and other professionals. I teach 5 fortes of marketing, but the two critical ones are publish and profile. So what do I mean when I say publish? I mean, write a blog, write article. If you don't have a blog yet, shame on you. Get your blog up. It's easy to do. Go to WordPress. Write articles. If you've got a blog, take your blog and everything you've written and turn it into a book. Books are fabulous for credibility. I've had many clients who sat in my conference room and said, waving my book in their hand, "Oh, I'm hiring you." And it's obvious because you've written a book. So the question is, how do you write? Even a blog, which is can be 500 words. They're easy. My tips are, for example, I just did 4 blogs this week. Write about what's going on. So I wrote 5 fun family activities during lockdown. Kristen shared a bunch of those with you. I wrote about domestic violence during quarantine. Debbie Day talked about that. I worked on a blog, Focus on Self-Improvement While You're Stuck at Home. I wrote how to use Zoom while you're safer at home. Yes, I wrote for clients, how to use Zoom while you're safer at home. Write frequently asked questions, write how-tos, write what's new in news. I think Deborah makes an excellent point. Don't open every conversation with pandemic, pandemic, pandemic. Don't be a Debbie Downer, as they used to say. Talk about what is good, what is wonderful, there's some fabulous stuff going on. The quarantine has created tons of new business, tons of new ways of getting through the quarantine. Those new ways aren't going to go away. We've created new modes of operandi. So that's good news. Write about conundrums that you've had. Write about cases, matters that you've handled, how you've solved them. What are the problems you've solved? How has your team solved them? Talk about how you discovered collaborative practice and why it makes sense to you. Write about where your passion is coming from. All of these things. If you need articles, topics, call me and I'm happy to share. And then we get to profile. I'm looking at my clock. Profile is mostly these days, it's social media, it's your website, it's YouTube, big YouTube. Bob Merlin shared the other day that he had just recorded a bunch of videos. Finally, he's carpe diem, he seized the moment. He's taken this opportunity and he's recorded a bunch of videos. I did 32 videos just before lockdown. Now we're working on cleaning them up. All 32 were frequently asked questions by clients and tips on what to do when, how to do if, I've had clients ask me if I leave my home, am I abandoning my home? How many times have you had that client? A ton. So I did a video answer. So everything that you've written about, everything that you've blogged about, every single blog can be a separate video. I do believe in reutilizing material, dual purpose, triple purpose your material. You do a blog on, for example, can I leave my home? Am I abandoning it? You do a video on it. Maybe you do a presentation on those questions. So that gets us into another of the P's later on down the pike, presenting. But everything I dual purpose. So you take your blogs, you do videos on every single thing that you blogged about, and you post them all to your website as well as elsewhere. So you give your website more SEO. Maybe you connect your website with FACP's website. You hearken back to FACP. You're helping each other by doing that. IACP, same thing. You're helping each other. And about the videos, by the way, are you using your cell phone or are you using a computer? Do you have a good camera? If you have a cell phone, if you have an iPhone, if you have a newer iPhone, you've got an amazing camera there. Easy to video from. You don't have to go to a special studio. You can video at home. Look at me right now. Actually, I don't even have a virtual background. I do have one that I'm going to use as soon as I can get it up. But this is my house. I could video from here. Why not? I have a really good ring light right there. It cost me $30 on Amazon. So make sure that your lighting is as good as you can get it. I also actually don't look this good. Thank you, whoever said that. But I'm using I forget what it's called, the enhanced portrait setting on Zoom. Almost all of these apps that you can use have an enhanced portrait setting. So use that. I mean, oh, what fun. This is amazing. Everything that I've learned during this lockdown, I've been home for 2 weeks and 4 days. My husband works from home, so he's used to it. He's not used to having me here, which has posed a bit of a conundrum, but that's another blog. But it's been an amazing experience for me. And I'm looking forward to seeing my staff in person. I'm looking forward to hugging them. I miss that tremendously. But so much of the world is on pause right now, but not everyone is. There's still people who need our services. And even when the economy's in a tailspin, and although your conversion rate right now might be impacted, maybe even heavily, it's just short term. If you build it, they will come.